Donald Trump has defeated Kamala Harris to become the 47th president of the United States. The election drama may be over, but now the tax drama is just starting to heat up. In this video, I'm going to break down Trump's tax proposals that could have the largest impact on your lives. For many of you that are watching this video right now, these new policies could affect your tax bill by tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars per year or more, depending on your income. The one thing I want you to understand is that with these new policies, a lot can happen very quickly, so you need this information. Let's get started.
In 40 days, Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. But guys, he also has a tax policy that we need to look into with a fine-tooth comb. Now, we're going to look at the pros and the cons and see if it benefits you not only personally, but also the nation's economy as a whole. Let's get this thing. You see that thing, baby. This is going to be really fun, guys. Let's go.
We on now. They respect us cause we on now. Money up, run a whole town, don't we? This power money can't slow down. Money won't slow down. Ooh, we doing a lot. Why they party? I'm in here grinding. Money I'm stacking. Why they rock diamonds? I can't relate to them, ain't my shit coming. I set a goal for me 2 or 3 commas. 7 figures, 8 figures to 9 figures. On a slow pace to get rich quick. Same time we just think different. Cause when you make it, it hit different.
What it do, y'all? It's your partner Dale back in the saddle again for another edition of the Countermoves Podcast. Guys, if you could, guys, thank you so much for your time. If you could like and subscribe if you get value for this. We do this every Thursday at 8:30 p.m., guys. So let's get into this thing, man. This is going to be a very, very good one, guys. And you may want to get your pen and pads ready for this one because it's going to be very eventful and very full of information, right? So again, if you could subscribe and share if you could, guys. It is what it is. Now, let's dive into this real quickly, guys. Guys, we know we had an election. Trump actually won, right? So when there is a different president, right, there's different policies that the president is actually pushing. One is a tax policy. Now, Trump was very vocal about his intentionality concerning his tax proposals. So I thought it'd be wise for us to talk about what massive tax changes are coming under the Trump presidency, right? We're gonna dive into this. It's not just gonna be my opinion. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in someone that's actually went through this line by line, and you've seen me use him in the past. Carlson Dennis, phenomenal tax strategist. Phenomenal guy, but we're going to dive into what this is going to look like, guys. All right, so get your pen and pads out. We're going to go through each and every proposal that Trump talks about. We're going to talk about is it good or not. We're going to decide on this. All right, guys. So let's dive into this real quickly, guys. So Donald Trump's tax proposals and the changes that are coming post, of course, President Biden. Right. Let's bring in Dennis real quickly and let's dive through this line by line, guys, and we're going to go through all of this so we can see exactly what's going on, and we're going to then respond to a literal tax professional talking about these changes. Okay, so let's dive into this real quickly. All right, and I love how Dennis does this. He begins from the beginning. He incorporates in not only the presidency but also the House and the Senate. Good information and it's balanced. All right, guys. So again, pens and pads out, guys. This is going to be very informative. Here we go. Let's go.
Get into the policies. Remember, Congress would still have to vote to approve these policies for them to become law. But the Republicans won back the Senate and they kept the House in the election. So they now have the majority in Congress, which dramatically increases the chances of many of these tax proposals becoming approved. So don't think that these proposals are just going to all get shut down in Congress, because it is very likely that at least a few of them will actually become law. All right, let's jump into number one. No tax on overtime work. This would be a
This was one of the most popular policies that Trump came out with concerning overtime. Let's unpack this real quickly. Here we go.
massive change to the tax code that could affect millions of workers in the United States. Under current tax laws, income from overtime work is taxed at ordinary rates.
Okay.
Overtime work is any work that is in excess of a normal 40-hour work week.
Right.
There are many different types of workers who frequently work overtime. This includes police officers and firefighters, nurses and factory workers, construction workers, and many more. If the Trump tax policy goes through, it means that all these people could potentially keep thousands of extra dollars in their pockets every year. Now, this would be a tremendous blessing for overtime workers who are some of the hardest workers that our country has.
Right.
So hopefully this policy goes through and all of you out there who work overtime can keep more of your hard-earned money.
I like what he said right there, guys, because when you're in an inflationary, happy type of economy, which is what we're in right now, you're pinching pennies, right, to make sure that you can go to the next month or the next year or the next quarter, so to speak. And so for there to be no tax on overtime, you keep more of your dollars at the house, which means you actually have more to spend, more to invest, more to grow, right? So I love this policy, and I agree with Carlton. Hopefully this gets passed by both the House and Senate and the presidency. Here we go.
Okay, let's move on to proposal number 2. Tax deductions for auto loan interest for vehicles made in the United States. Okay. With this proposal, Trump would make interest on auto loans fully deductible.
Wow.
So if you're someone with an auto loan debt, this policy could potentially save you significant money.
That's actually pretty cool, guys, because if you look at the amortization over a 5, 6, 7 year, sometimes even 8-year car loan, you're paying an immense amount of interest. And for you to write off all the interest on an annual basis, guys, on a potentially annual basis, huge tax deduction. Here we go.
Keep in mind that this would only apply to cars that were made in America. This proposal can not only help car buyers, but it also could potentially help the American auto industry.
Wow, that's strong because of the fact that it only benefits the GMs and the Fords, not the Toyotas, not the Lexuses, not any Infinities at all. None of that. No BMWs, just American-made cars, which would immensely benefit the American automaker, which would potentially drive more traffic to people buying their cars. Brilliant plan. Here we go.
And that is because it would incentivize people to buy American-made vehicles.
Sir.
Number 3, no tax on Social Security benefits.
Okay.
There are roughly 67 million households in America that receive monthly Social Security benefit checks from the government. These checks help people who are retired or disabled to afford the everyday costs of living.
Yeah.
But many of these people depend on their Social Security checks to survive. So not having to pay any income taxes could potentially help millions of people who could really benefit from this help.
Wow.
For me, I love this one because Social Security is already taxed while you're a working individual. It makes no sense to tax it while you're in retirement. I hope this policy gets approved.
I love that. I didn't know, guys, before I began researching this, that Social Security was even taxed at all. I had no clue. But for you to pay all this money for Social Security while you're working 40 plus years, right, in the workforce, and pay into the system, and then you also pay it on you receiving the money that you paid back into the system, is tax. That's trash. Love this policy. Hope it passes.
Approved. Policy number 4, no tax on tips.
Yeah.
Trump also wants to do away with taxes on tips for workers like bartenders, waiters, waitresses, hairdressers, busboys, Uber drivers, caddies, car dealers in Vegas. Now, this is an extremely interesting tax proposal because it means that a lot of people who work these jobs would not owe any federal income taxes. This could not only benefit all of the people who currently work these jobs, but it could also potentially help to attract hundreds of thousands of people to take new jobs in these industries.
Yes, sir.
So you happen to own a bar or a restaurant. If you're struggling to find employees for your business, that might soon change. That problem might not exist anymore. All right, guys, let's go to number 5.
I love that policy because it incentivizes people to go work for, of course, restaurants and bars. But number 2, also it incentivizes the bar and the restaurant as well, also because of the fact that they're not taxed on that income as well. Also, man, it's a double benefit for both the restaurant and the server and the worker. Brilliant plan. Hope it passes. Here we go.
make the individual income tax cuts from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 permanent, and potentially replace income taxes with tariffs. Yes, you heard that right. At the very least, Trump wants to keep the substantial tax cuts from his Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, but he may take on a step further and try to do away with income taxes entirely. On many occasions, Trump has brought up the fact that we didn't used to have federal income taxes in America, and that tariffs provided a large percentage of America's tax revenue. Trump has hinted that he may try to get the country back to that system. So it's possible that during the 4 years that he's in office, that we may see the complete elimination of federal income taxes. Let me know in the comments if you think income taxes should be eliminated. Number 6, universal baseline tariff of 10 to 20% for all imported goods, a 60% in tariff on imported goods from China, and 200% on tariffs for Mexico imported vehicles. Once he takes office, Trump has made new tariff plans. Trump has stated that he wants to use tariffs to protect American industries, such as the auto industry. He believes that placing tariffs on imports help to make American goods more competitive. Some people don't like the tariffs because they can make imported goods more expensive. Guys, this is true, but the reason why Trump likes them is because he believes they can help to protect American jobs. Number 7, lowering the corporate tax rate from 21% to 20%.
Now, let me give you my thoughts real quick on tariffs, real quick before we go to this lowering corporate tax rate, right? I agree with the tariffs when it comes to negotiating and protecting American jobs, right? Because it's real easy when it comes to tariffs. It's real simple to think about tariffs. When you hear the word tariffs, just think about trade deficits and trade surpluses. I believe out of all of our trade agreements, only 2 or 3 of them we have a surplus in. Let me say that again with my chest. Out of all of our trade agreements, I believe, and check me if I'm right, we only have a certain trade surplus with 2 or 3 of those agreements. It's ridiculous. And we have a lot of trade agreements, a ton. Okay, so that didn't make any sense to me at all. So I understand that with them actually using tariffs to balance out the play of, hey, when it comes to you, said country, I've had a trade deficit with you for 20 some odd years. The agreement was for us to share trade, not for you to be in the surplus and me to be in the deficit. So if he's using that to balance it out, I like that. Now there is a possibility that with tariffs, I would say prices can go up. But let me give you an example real quick, guys. In one of the countries, I believe it's in Germany. BMW is a German-made car. BMW, we buy BMWs here in America all the time. One of my dream cars before I bought my Maserati was a BMW 740. Man, I was a huge fan of BMWs, and I still am. Wonderful, wonderful made car. I think one of the best cars in the world. But you know that Germany can ship BMWs over to America and then sell a German product to America, but America cannot send over to them Fords or GMs. Why? It's a trade deficit. So the trade surplus is favoring Germany. A trade deficit is not favoring us. It's real simple. Tariffs is a negotiating tactic to be able to even out the trade itself. Right? We will see how the strategy works, but when it comes to trade, I agree with tariffs with the intentionality of making trade agreements more beneficial for America first, and then, of course, our trade partner second. I agree with that, guys. The key thing is balanced trade agreements. I'm sick and tired of deficits. All right, let's keep it going.
And down to 15% for companies who manufacture their goods in the United States. In his first term as president, Trump successfully lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% down to 21%. Now he wants to lower it even further.
Wow.
He believes that this will help to keep unemployment low and bring jobs back to America's shores. After all, the more money that companies make, the more people that they can hire. Number 8.
And also that drives investment, right? It drives investment. If you're lowering down the corporate tax from 21 to 15%, that's more money into a company's pocket. A company can then make more investments within their company to either hire more people, to expand their corporate footprint. It benefits everybody, right? More taxes are paid with property taxes, payroll taxes, corporate taxes, even though it's at 15%. Just don't look at taxes from an income basis. You have several different type of taxes that are paid, right? So again, I like that play of lowering the corporate taxes to 15% because it invites in investment from companies, right? Real simple.
Lifting the $10,000 cap on the state and local tax SALT deduction. During his first term, Trump supported a $10,000 cap on state and local tax deduction. However, it appears that he changed his mind. Removing the SALT deduction cap would allow people to deduct all of their state taxes, all of their property taxes without this cap of $10,000. I am totally for it because a lot of my W-2 taxpayers got absolutely killed when the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act came because a lot of them had really expensive properties and they lived in states where they had state tax. They used to be able to deduct all of their state income taxes. They used to be able to write off all their property taxes. But when the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act came out in 2017, it capped it at $10,000. I would absolutely love to see this one lifted.
Me too.
All right, number 9, eliminating double taxation for overseas Americans. This is one of the last tax proposals that Trump made before the election. This tax proposal would prevent Americans living overseas from having to pay income taxes to both their host nation and back to the United States. Currently, many Americans do have to deal with double taxation, and it could be a major challenge for them. Not all Americans who live overseas are taxed twice. There is an income threshold that you have to earn beyond in order to have your income taxed twice. And for 2024, it's $126,500. But if Trump's tax proposal goes through, no American living overseas would have to deal with this double taxation regardless of how much they earn. This would make it infinitely easier to anyone who wants to travel and work in another country to do so. So if you're someone who likes to travel, and if you're thinking about living abroad and having, the access in another country to work, then this policy could highly be beneficial for you. Reducing wasteful government spending. Now, as you might,
I love that because the double taxation play. As a person that does international business, I hate being taxed twice. Matter of fact, I work my behind off to try to pay the IRS as less as I can legally. And of course, in real estate, right, I get a ton of write-offs from depreciation to the Augusta rule to interest. I get a lot of tax benefits, right, guys? So any way that I can actually write off as much tax as I can legally, I'm all for it, man. Keep money in my pocket. I love that.
Have noticed many of Trump's tax proposals revolve around cutting taxes. Tax cuts are great because they can help people keep more of their hard-earned money.
That was one of the reasons why I believe he won their elections, because Kamala Harris's her play was raising taxes on what they call the wealthy, right? And we went through. If you want to look at a podcast that I did on her tax plan, it's right there. Hers is all about raising taxes. All Trump's tax policies is about cutting taxes. What's more appealing to you, raising or cutting? I like cutting. Let's keep going.
Most people out there would rather have more money than less money. However, it is true that we have a massive debt problem in this country. And in fact, our national debt is currently around $36 trillion. There are some people who think Trump's tax cuts might have the national debt worse by reducing the government's revenue. But here's the thing. Trump has also recently appointed Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to lead the efforts to dramatically reduce government spending. Elon Musk said that he believed that he could help to trim $2 trillion from the government's annual expenses. Also, tariffs will most likely help make up for some of the lost tax revenue if Trump's new tax cuts go through. One thing that I think that people who are worried about our national debt need to keep in mind is that it's not just a revenue problem. Our government has a spending problem. It appears that Trump is taking steps to solve this side of the equation, which I think is a step in the right direction. I would love to know.
So guys, phenomenal. I agree with that. With the last statement he actually said, is the government has a spending problem. And there's normally not a lot of talk about curtailing that spending. We need to solve that spending problem, right? And who has the power of the purse? The House does, right? So you pass a bill, you've seen the whole thing about I have a bill on Capitol Hill, which is fine. And what happens is that there's so much pork in these damn bills, so much excessive printing, right? I think Trump is trying to curtail that in some form of fashion, but with those guys. I like these proposals. I really do. But yeah, government has a really bad spending problem, which we should do.
Okay, so you did fixes and flips first, or were they? Now it sounds like you're more buy and hold. Okay, so you're a wholesale first. Okay,
because I was broke. I had no credit. I had no money. So I had to get some money coming in. So I learned how to do wholesale.
And you were doing wholesaling at the good time too.
2000.
When it wasn't so saturated. There was.
I kind of saw the debacle coming. Okay. It didn't make any sense. I was like, wait a minute, how can you lend out to retail buyers 99.7%?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a down tick. It's insolvent.
And you got to remember, in some states, because I lived in Florida at the time, you could have loan to value above 100% of your property.
Right.
The first property that I bought, it was 110%. We left the bank with like $30,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was amazing to me. I was like, why am I not doing this all the time? But then clearly 0809 let me know why people shouldn't have been doing that all the time.
0809, that's why I made that lion's share of my money.
Wow.
People
Okay.
were actually running from the cows. I was running to it.
Of course.
Because I saw it was coming.
Okay.
A lot of my business colleagues back then were buying flippers.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was wise for me to share 50% of my profit with Uncle Sam. He didn't do no work.
Okay.
So why would I give him free money?
Of course.
Okay, how can I make sure I'm still legal, but keep the lion's share of the cash flow?
Of course.
So I began studying the tax code with my accountants and CPAs, and I said, okay, I'm going to buy a whole lot of properties. Now watch this. I actually buy a lot of properties. I take home money when I actually acquire it. Every single time.
Okay, you need to break that down just a little bit.
If you wanted to know how successful real estate investors make money when they acquire real estate and not when they sell it, click on the link below or swipe up and download our free ebook, Distressed Property Investing. The blueprint is in the ebook. Stay blessed, holla at your partner, and download the ebook today. All right, guys, man, I'm going to do a little bit of a counter move real quickly, guys, on the show real quickly. All right, guys. I remember he was talking about government spending and how we have a spending problem when it comes to government. He's right about that. I wanted to dive into this real quickly, guys, and so we can look at government spending, guys. Let's walk through this real quickly. Again, a little bit of a pivot real quickly on this because of the fact that we do have a really bad government spending problem. And I thought it'd be wise for us to walk through this real quickly, guys. Let's look through a specific bill that was passed during the Biden administration. I want you guys to pay attention directly to how much money was actually spent, guys, and where it went to. All right, here we go. Let's dive into this real quickly.
Senators from both parties visibly happy to announce agreement.
So again, both parties, both Democrats and Republicans, both parties, and they're happy. What are they happy about? Here we go.
3 years ago, Republicans and Democrats grabbed your money, promising
to build thousands of miles of fiber optic cable.
Cable that would provide high-speed internet to all of America.
$65 billion broadband push.
3 years later, no one's been connected. Not a single.
Stop right there. $65 billion spent. 3 years later, not a single project is underway. Not one. Not one project is on its way. What? Let's keep it going, guys. We ain't done.
Single project is underway. Why? Because governments aren't good at building anything.
Correct.
As Milton Friedman put it.
Very few people spend other people's money as carefully as they spend their own.
Politicians spending other people's money wasted it. Private companies laid miles of cable, while government officials obsessed about giving broadband to the right people.
Boys, girls, people of color, people living in rural America.
Aging individuals, prisoners, LGBTQ persons. Any company that wants funds to build broadband has to hire certain people.
You have to hire these certain people based on their color, based on their sex, and you have to use unions.
Matt Cole's investment.
Notice how he said unions. How he said unions. Unions. Why? They're part of the grift. Again, $65 billion has been spent, right? 3 years later, not a single wire or project has been started. Where did the money go to? Where did it go? And you have to use a damn union. Let's keep it going, guys. Here we go.
company researched the government's funding and made this ad.
What am I looking at here?
Oh, there's nothing more important than making sure you're representing all the right causes.
You have all these companies that could actually do this, and they say, this is unimplementable with the restrictions, so they just walk away.
Eventually, government will probably succeed.
So basically what he's saying is these companies are like, man, I'm not going to adhere to all this garbage. It's ridiculous. I have to hire more people to adhere to all of these so-called causes, which is costing me money, right? And for what type of return? I ain't doing this, man. That's the reason why these companies won't want to do anything with the government, is because they ain't gonna pay for this garbage. Let's keep it going, guys. Again, we have a spending problem with the government. Do you understand why cutting taxes is so important? What Trump's talking about? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Installing some broadband. But by then, this hard-to-install cable may be totally unnecessary because of satellite internet like Starlink. Starlink already exists and costs much less.
Correct.
They could do it literally today. You could have devices in these people's homes within the next couple months, and they could have high-speed internet access.
So hold on, stop right there. If the goal is to give people in rural areas access to the internet, why not go with Starlink? It's today, ready to go right now. Right now. Now let's see why they didn't do this. Listen to this garbage.
So why didn't administration officials do that? They said Starlink failed to demonstrate it had the ability. Then, once it became clear that Starlink obviously did, the administration said it won't use Starlink because it's a monopoly.
So trash. So you initially said they don't have the ability to do it, right? And then when they showed they had the ability to do it, wait a minute, I want you to be a monopoly. Trash. Horse manure. Let's keep it going.
First, they're not functional. Now they have a monopoly. The reality is that they didn't want that to be the solution.
They don't want to give money to Elon Musk.
Take over, Elon. Just take over.
But now Musk has a friend in government, so things may change. But that's not a good way to spend your money. Politicians doling it out to their friends. In fact, politicians have a bad track record when they decide what to build. They pumped billions into high-speed rail. 15 years later, we still don't have it. They lost.
We had a question on Instagram, guys. Great question. It says, am I against union labor? No, I'm not. I'm against sensible union labor being involved. Sensible, right? When you spend $65 billion, right? And 3 years, not one project has began, not one, and you have to work through a labor union. Have to do that, okay? And nothing's happened. I got to question that. And then you have a company already in existence, already has perfected the system, already has everything kind of running, already ready to go. Starlink, you first say, well, they haven't showed us the ability that they can actually do it. Then they show you they can do it, and then you say, well, we don't want you to become a monopoly. That's BS. That's BS. The problem with not using Starlink is you will not be able to use your unions to get it accomplished. The grift. I don't mind unions if it makes fiscal sense. And for what I see here, this makes no fiscal sense at all unless you're trying to grift. Let's keep it going. Again, this is both Democrats and Republicans, not just one side. Both co-sign this. Let's keep it going.
$500 million on Solyndra. Almost $1 billion trying to create synthetic fuels. More recently, a Biden meatpacking scheme starved 1 million chickens. And although Biden promised government would build
500,000 charging stations.
2 years later, how many have they built for $7 billion? 7.
What in the world? Where'd the money go? The $65 billion for broadband, where did it go? The $7 billion, $7.5 billion, I'm trying to be precise, for EV charge stations. 7 stations? Where did the $7.5 billion go? Where did it go? Where did the money go? Where did it go? And you get this return? Trash. Horse manure. Keep it going.
And again, government's failure at building things is not just a Democrat thing. Republicans joined Democrats in grabbing your money to build computer chip factories.
We will enable advanced semiconductor manufacturing to make a comeback here in America.
Democrats bragged about adding strength.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
The CHIPS Act contains 19 sections aimed at helping minority groups.
You already have a talent problem. Now you're looking at only being able to recruit from a very small minority of individuals.
That strategy is trash. If you have a small talent margin right now, before you implement all of these so-called causes or these demographics that you have to hire through, you even make it even harder to hire. What type of thinking is this? This is government. This is government. Most people in government, right? A friend of mine went up to Capitol Hill for a company that I used to own. And he went up there, guys, to talk to senators, congressmen, both on the Republican side and the Democrat side, right? Met with both sides, right? He said, LaDale, and every single staff member that was there on Capitol Hill, all of them were college students. Let me ask you a question. Fresh out of college. Tell me what, and they're writing the entire bill, not the elected official, their staff is. So here's my question for those staff members, right? What real world experience do you have and that you can bring to the table that can add value to writing a damn bill? I got an answer for you. Not none. Not a damn thing. And these college graduates, hand kind of praise for you getting your degree, you had no experience. So how are you making these laws based on the CHIP Act? You don't know what you're talking about. Not at all. This is the thinking up there in Washington.
Then you have to do climate pledges. Then you have to hire from unions.
But diversity is good. And there has been horrible discrimination in this country.
That doesn't mean that you should shift the pendulum back to hire someone because of their race or their skin color if they're a diverse candidate.
Despite the billions you spent,
I'm for diversity if the talent can do the job. If they are qualified outside of the color of their skin. I don't care what color you are. If I need surgery, I want the best surgeon on the planet operating on your partner. No matter if they're white, black, Hispanic, German, I don't give a damn. I want the best. Excellence is what I want.
Most chips are still made in Taiwan. And even when we pay their chip makers.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let's go back, y'all. You hear this mess? Listen to this.
Because of their race or their skin color if they're a diverse candidate.
Despite the billions you spent,
hold on.
Most chips are still made in Taiwan.
Hold on. Oh my God. So this chip act was a big old grift. Most of our chips are still made in Taiwan. I thought we were trying to bring stuff back to America. Isn't that what Joe Biden just said? He just said it in the previous clip about the CHIPS Act. It was for us to be able to compete on the world stage on building chips and bringing it back to America. And most of our chips are still being built over in Taiwan. What in the hell is this mess? Where'd the money go? Where'd the money go? It was spent. Where did it go? Let's keep it going, y'all. Here we go.
And even when we pay their chip makers, they struggle to build in America.
So hold on. So even, oh my God. So even the money that we isolated out to send over to Taiwan for them to actually build, they struggling to build it over in America. This don't make, only way this makes sense, guys, the only way this makes sense if this is the biggest grift ever. And it goes on and on, and I'm trying y'all to be nice with my words, because this is trash. Let's keep it going. We ain't done.
Major Taiwanese chip manufacturing plant will be delayed again.
Delayed again? So hold on. Let's look at it again, y'all. Look at it again. $40 billion chip project in Arizona delayed again. TSMC says the Arizona-based factory is now expected to open in 2027, 2028. Where did the damn money go to? 40 billion, baby? Where did it go? Where the hell did this $40 billion go to? Where did it go? Huh? What is this? You say we have a spending problem when it comes to this government? We can spend real well when it's other people's money. Good. This is ridiculous.
Taiwanese chip manufacturing plant will be delayed again.
If our government wants chips made in America, they should get out of the way. Micromanaging microchips just slows things down. Even if they get what they promise, doing the numbers, $53 billion and 115,000 promised jobs. That's almost $500,000 per job.
What the fuck?
You would expect nothing else from government inefficiency, right?
Almost $500,000 per job.
Let's go back.
Promise America.
Here you go.
They should get out of the way.
Listen.
Micromanaging microchips just slows things down. Even if they get what they promise, doing the numbers, $53 billion and 115,000 promised jobs. That's almost $500,000 per job.
What in the world? What in the world? And ain't nobody hired. I can't say nobody. Very few are hired. Very few are hired. When it comes to the chip, when it comes to the broadband, ain't nobody laying. No one is laying no wires at all. Where that money went to, ain't nobody hired, right? Chip Act, we still building almost all of our chips over in Taiwan, and when they try to build in America, they can't do it. But that money gone. That money gone. $7.5 billion in EV charge stations. 7 been built. 7. $1 billion. $1 billion. So it's cost $1 billion a station. $1 billion a station. Huh? Delayed projects to 2027, 2028 in Arizona. Here we go.
You'd expect nothing else from government inefficiency, right?
With Republicans in charge, some think things will be better. But as I said, the problem isn't just Democrats. It's government.
Correct.
Republican politicians also harm people when they try to improve on the free market. Trump's steel tariffs destroyed American jobs because they raised the price of steel. Our government should just stop subsidizing politically connected businesses. And maybe Elon Musk will convince Trump to do that. He's actually tweeted that all subsidies should end, including his own. But I won't hold my breath.
We spent $2.5 trillion. We got everybody pay increases.
Once politicians are in power, they always want to do more with your money.
Every time. Great video. Phenomenal video, guys. Oh, my bad. I'm back. Phenomenal video, guys. It is. All right, y'all. Here are my thoughts. I mean, that was beautiful, brutal. Without. Here's my thoughts, guys. Okay. I like Trump's proposals when it comes to cutting taxes. I'm always for cutting taxes. That's me, right? I like that. I like cutting taxes. I like the fact that Dennis said it. A lot of this has to go through Congress, so that means he has to negotiate with both the House and the Senate to come with a deal, right? Which is fine. My question is, which ones are they going to pass? Because all of them can benefit the economy. And really, Trump only has really 1 year, because the second year they're going to be running for re-election. I think a third of the Senate and all of the House, right? So we have to see what's going to go on with that. So as far as his proposals, I liked every single one, and I do like the tariff play if it's used for negotiating, because the president only has one tool to balance out the trade deficit that we have in almost all of our trade agreements, and that is the power of a tariff. Because America has the biggest consumer base in the world, and every single country wants to partake in this consumer base, which is fine. It's going to cost you. There should be no deal to where, for instance, Germany can sell BMWs over here, but we can't sell Ford or GMs over there. Trash. Whoever negotiated that deal needs to. They're already gone. Whoever negotiated that deal was a moron. But I guarantee you were negotiating for your own benefit, not for America's benefit. You were grifting. It's real simple. And I don't know if that person was a Democrat or Republican. I don't care. I want better negotiators. It's real simple. It's not hard. Now, I agree with Carlton when he said that we actually have a spending problem. We know because we just went through this spending mess on this CHIP Act, this $7.5 billion invested for EV charge stations, $7 billion. So that $7 billion have been built. So $1 billion a charge station. That's a grift. Then you have the CHIP Act. Well, most of our chips are still being orchestrated or constructed over in Taiwan, and when they try to come over to America to get it done, they can't get it done, and they're using our money. That's a grift there as well. Also, the broadband, $65 billion for broadband 3 years ago. 3 years later, not one wire has been laid down. That's a grift, and you have to use these unions. Now I'll see why these unions are flush with cash. Now I'll see the reason why these politicians always go to the unions. They're trying to court the union vote. Notice they're courting the union vote, not the black vote, not the Hispanic vote, none of that stuff. None of that stuff. Why? The money's with the unions. Money's with the unions. Why? They're part of the grift. They're part of the damn grift, y'all. It's real simple. There's two masters, God and money. And money only became a master when God said it was. So if you show me you show me who you're serving by what you do. And it's very simple. They're serving the master called money. It's a grift. The biggest grift ever. And it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. So we're going to see if Elon Musk is a man of his word. Take away his subsidies. I don't hold my breath as well. Not at all. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't either. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm getting a big subsidy from the government, I like the subsidy. I like it. Yes, I do. So I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one. But again, I understand it's business. But at the exact same time, guys, I like Doge. I think Doge came out and said that only 6% of workers go to the office and work. What the? Some around there. What in the world? What is going on here? This is the biggest grift ever. If Doge can find $2 trillion to save, although they said we in debt 36 trillion, actually it's higher than that. It's a lot higher than that, guys, because they're not counting Social Security, that debt. They're not counting all the other programs. They're not counting a lot of programs. It's a lot higher than that. Probably around 100 trillion. The goal is to inflate the debt away. That's the goal. That's the goal. What Trump's trying to do as far as cutting taxes and Doge, that's great and wonderful. It's gonna be wonderful, which is fine, but it's too big to fail. It's too big. They can't not stop printing, because if they keep on printing, if they stop printing, the whole thing collapses. Whole thing collapses. So therefore, you have to be a better planner and plan for what these buffoons are doing in Washington. You got to plan for that, right? So therefore, I do the exact opposite of what these buffoons up there in Washington tell us to do. The exact opposite. And I have them batting 1,000. Because why? Again, the politicians are not writing the laws. It's their staff who are fresh out of college that have no real world experience at all. Not a smidgen or very little. Do you want to leave your future in the hands of a novice person in your industry? The answer is no. Now I see the reasoning why. Oh, thank you, Holy Ghost, for that revelation. Now I see the reason why companies invest so heavily in lobbyists. I see it. Because why? They can influence these newbies all day long. They know they could buy them and they can control all of the industry. Brilliant plan. Brilliant plan. My lobbyist guys, to be honest with you, is the North American Home Builders of America. Love them to death. Yes, sir. Negotiating on my behalf. So who's your lobbyist? Who's yours? Who's lobbying for your benefit? If the answer is nobody, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You are in some trouble. So you better now, the next 3 to 5 years, right? For those that are prepared, are going to change generations. They are, right? So what do you need? You're going to need joint venture partners, begin a side hustle of some form or fashion, because inflation is going to continue to go up. Stop playing. It is. They're going to rechange the calculations. They got this, they got that to spend to you. That's what they're going to do. That's what they do all the time, right? All the time. So begin a side hustle. Learn, reinvent yourself. Transform your mind. Real simple, guys. Joint venture partnerships. Get with someone that can mentor you, right? And partner with you in some deals, no matter what you do, right? And begin to build wealth that way. But CEOs read, I believe, 4 or 5 books a month. A mentor of mine, Dr. Tony Evans, I think he reads 2 books a week, 2 or 3 books a week. A week. So again, I can tell you right now, Aaron, how you doing, Aaron? What's going on, baby? Somebody said 6 or 7. Oh, I was wrong. 6 or 7 a month. That's crazy. Good crazy. So how many books are you reading a month? If the answer is 0, you're behind. You're behind. You really are. You understand that if you actually read 10 pages, really, I said 10 minutes a day, right? At the end of 1 year, you would have completed, I think, 2.5 years of school, almost 3 years of university school, by reading 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day, that's it. 10 minutes a day. Not hard. But most people won't do it. They want someone to bail them out. I can tell you right now, guys, although I love these plans by Donald Trump, these phenomenal tax plans, guys, he is not a savior. He's not. He's a man. That's all he is. So my question is, what are you going to do to countermove this? What are you going to do to take advantage of this stuff? Take advantage of the tax proposals if they get passed. Take advantage of potential positive effects on tariff negotiating, and also be ready for prices to go up because of tariffs. What are you going to do? If the answer is nothing, I feel sorry for you. You're going to get crushed. Let's keep it 1,000 with you. I've had to reinvent myself this entire year, which is great, wonderful. I am I'm going on under coaching and mentorship. Why? Because of the fact that I'm growing all my businesses. I have to be able to be with somebody that can actually show me how do you master managing all of these businesses. I know the answer to that question, but to see them live and in action, right? And I don't mind investing in myself, right? I don't mind investing $1, $3, $5, $10, $20,000, right? Because of the fact that I invested in myself. Because I know that the return on investment is going to be awesome. Awesome. So again, love Trump's tax proposals. Love those, all of them. Will they pass the House and Senate? Some will, some won't, right? So what next? What are you going to do to take advantage of these proposals, or be ready for anything that actually happens notoriously? To where in the next 3 to 5 years, guys, you are looking a 4 or 5x better than you were 3 to 5 years before that time frame. Simple, not hard. Not hard. If you're an entrepreneur, you have a business inside of you. You've been wired for change. You've been wired for greatness. So the question is, how can you understand and understand what your purpose is, so that you can begin to build a legacy for your children's children? Now that maybe you be the best employee at said company. Great, do that. Do that. Be the greatest entrepreneur that you can. And if you're an entrepreneur, great. I was telling about it is business skills generate money, right? Business skills do. So what business model can you tap into to be able to build up leadership business skills so you can actually go to the next level? If the answer is you don't know, don't you worry, your partner got you. I got some help for you coming. But at the exact same time, guys, all I'm saying is money is money. Money is money. And I want you to be ready for the positive and negativity of what will happen, because the spending is not going to stop. You just saw on that video all of this spending and nothing being done. That's money that's been spent already that you got to pay back. with nothing to show for it, but people that grifted off of your tax dollars. That's it. And you want to trust that thinking? Hell no. Hell no. But guys, man, that's all I have for today, guys. I'm not trying to be too forthright or too in your face, but it's just, man, we gotta do better, guys, because of the fact that, to be honest with you, the next 3 to 5 years is going to be, in my opinion, some of the greatest years of our lives for those that are ready. Now, most people tell me this, hey, LaDale, man, what I want to do, man, is I'm ready to make that pivot, guys. I'm in real estate development and finance, guys, right? And so my whole thing is this here is I'm giving away a free ebook. I think in the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be the greatest time to acquire real estate, whether it be apartment complexes, some commercial buildings, if you buy it right, and single family residences. Why? Because there's an implosion coming on the commercial end, which is apartment complexes and office buildings. And the commercial industry in real estate kind of, dictates the residential, right, end. And guys, there's a ticking time bomb coming right now when it comes to commercial real estate, or when it comes to apartment complexes as well, guys. So we are giving away a free ebook. It's called Distressed Property Investing. It's 100% free. I don't want no money at all, period. Scan on this QR code or click on the link below, guys, and you will get access to that link to download that free ebook. Here's my philosophy. If I could teach you how to find a distressed property in your city, county, or state, vet the transaction, structure the right way, I'll partner with you with my cash and fund the deal for you. And we can profit share the profits. It's real simple. Now, if you cannot, scan on these QR codes or click the link below. Don't you worry, your partner got you. It's very simple, right, guys? DM me the word, direct message me the word, not in the chat, but direct message me the word real estate, right? The word is on the screen, and my team will get you out that exact same link that's on the QR code for you to download the ebook. It is free, no money at all. My philosophy is I want to get you the knowledge so we can get the bag together. All right, guys, real simple. Also, guys, you mentioned LaDale, real estate is not for me. Don't you worry about it, guys. I got you. A friend of mine by the name of Matt Sapala did a free video on the passive income blueprint. 3 business models, right, that could generate you a substantial amount of passive income to pay for a bill, to pay for your mortgage, whatever it may be, guys. And you're going to be surprised at that third and final business model that Matt talks about. And newsflash, your partner is actually in the video. He does a case study on your partner, man. It's all good, man. If you could scan on the QR code right there, click on the link below, and you get the access to that free link to watch this video. It is free. I don't know what's best for you. Only person knows that is you. And if you can't scan on this QR code, click on the link below. Don't you worry about it. DM in the word passive income, and my team will get that same link out to you. It's very simple, guys. All right, guys. And lastly, baby, hey, man, your partner got his own merch. You see it. We call it the I Got That Bag University merch. Right, guys? It's real simple. We got the hoodies. We got T-shirts. We got hats, guys. Hey, rep it, guys. And also, guys, if you buy any merch at all, tag us in the merch, right? We'll put you in a drawing for a free gift card of $100, guys, on us. Simple. Scan on the QR code, right? And click on the link below, which is fine, guys, and get your merch, guys. That's simple. But guys, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. I hope I actually gave you guys some value. And I thought it'd be wise for me to talk about the government spending in this video as well. That's why I brought in Brother Stossel to kind of go through that. But guys, you know I end it every single time, guys. Before you leave, while you can, baby. You see that damn thing, baby. Take the damn picture and give it to your mom and holler at your partner, guys. God bless you. See you next week at 8:30, guys. Oh, lastly, guys, forgive me. I always slip my mind, guys. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., we have Real Estate Friday Live with Cliff and I, man. We talk about all things real estate at 5 p.m. CST, baby. That's what we do all the time. Here's a little bit of a sneak peek of what we're going to talk about. Here we go. What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
Guys, every Friday at 5 p.m. CST on all platforms, including this one. You can chime in with me and Cliff at 5 p.m. CST. We talk about real estate. We go through a current market analysis. We talk about a strategy that you can actually implement today to be able to make 5, 10, 20 grand on your first deal or many deals afterwards, guys. And again, guys, if the deal makes sense, I'll partner with you and fund the deal with you as well also, guys. But guys, man, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. Hope I asked the value, guys. You know, I end it every single time before you leave them while you can. You see that thing, baby. Take the picture and give it to your mom and them guys and holler at your partner. God bless you guys. See you tomorrow at 5 p.m., guys. All right, y'all. Peace.
Long live the king.